We're talking more about race right now, but the conversation is not new.
Yes, in fact, last year, the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library made this book called The Hate You Give part of its community read. And the goal is to have an intentional dialogue about race relations and policing.
Genevieve Curtis checked in with some of the people who took part in that dialogue to see what kind of impact it's having.
Between the pages of a book, there's an opportunity to bind readers together. That was the library's goal when it chose The Hate You Give as the community book.
After the Keith Lamont Scott shooting, the climate and the conversation and the uneasiness in our community was still very relevant and was still very top of mind. The library is a safe place to have these conversations.
The book turned feature film follows a teenage girl named Star, who is black and witnesses a police officer kill her childhood best friend. She attends a mostly white prep school while living in a mostly black neighborhood and struggles to find her own identity. She must also find her voice to stand up for what is right.
She has to make the choice of using her voice to speak out about the injustice. I think the community knows from the book discussions that everyone has a voice. And as we see now, people are using their voices and demanding change.
Finding a voice is what Library Outreach Channel leader Meryl Leonard says is a key takeaway from the community discussions the library hosted. A big part of the dialogue came between readers and the library's partnership with CMPD.
Our police department wanted the community to see them in a different light as part of the community.
Officers read the book and attended discussions with the community to help bridge the gap between teens and the police, which is a major theme of the novel.
They really did a good job about making everybody feel at ease and like they could talk about anything.
Through Star's story, readers were able to share their own stories. Those stories spark dialogues and allow people of different backgrounds to understand a different perspective.
And from that conversation, it can lead to something else. It can lead to an idea. It can lead to people saying, well, I'm scared and this is why. And this is why I related to the book. And those conversations start to happen.
For the library, the goal was to unite the community and build a bridge. But Leonard says the story's lasting impact goes far beyond the words in the book or community discussions. Readers can turn a page in their own stories.
I think the book itself gave people the opportunity to think about what their role is in the community, what is their position, what is their platform to make a difference in so many different lives.
And it can lead to a new chapter for the entire community.
But a lot of times change takes place and growth takes place and community connections take place when people change their personal perspectives.
That was Genevieve Curtis reporting there. The library is in the process now of choosing its next community book, something they say that will be relatable for the current times. And we'll let you know when that book is chosen.